Hello Gemini, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So Gems, we're using all of the wild unknowns. Again, oops, this week I'm leaving cards behind. We're gonna look at, but what we're gonna do, what we're gonna do is different from the last time I used the whole kaleidoscope of wild unknown. We're gonna look at you then, maybe it's a year ago, an hour ago, a week ago, I don't know, you then and you now, and we're going to look at the lesson in life that you're still perfecting and the lesson that you have perfected, that you've mastered. So y'all are not my favorite right now. My dentist specialist job by guys and Gemini. I still have a stupid bar at the roof of my mouth. I went there this morning. He's annoying me now. He's torturing me to perfection. That's what I call it. 2 more months. I was like, 2 more months. Like, anyways, Geminis. So let's see. You're good at torturing to perfection. I think that's what you are. That's what Gemini does. They torture to perfection. Well, let's see. Giving you such a hard time. I got to take it on somebody. I couldn't take it on him. He's got my mouth in his hands. So directed to you. All right, Gemini. You then, you now. Lesson you are not fully learned. Lesson that you have fully learned. I don't know. It's been 2 years, right? What's 2 more months? Then, oh, the kiss. There's something about this. Oh, about consequences. Something about this one, like you look at it and you go, it's a very intimate card, right? Like it, and it kind of is. It's like this delicate touching. Like it's not like holding. I mean, if you look at it, the muscles in the hands just look very relaxed. See, the more I look at it, it almost looks like one. Yeah, they're just very, almost really comfortably relaxed is how that kind of feels. But there's a really interesting thing, like, I think it's in the book about this card. It's kind of like the consequences of connection and relationship. So you are the consequence of connection and relationship, perhaps, or you understand it very fully. So there is a sense of, you know, maybe, like, let's say you choose to be friends with someone earlier in life because of this, that, and the other. And things kind of progress, and over time, you know, I want to say, I'm going to stop myself right there, because one of the things that I've noticed about, and I've read this about men as well, they're slightly different in terms of women and how they kind of choose friendships and relationship. And that, you know, a guy could be like a complete asshole in all sorts of parts of life, but you know what? You play baseball with him and you go out and have wings and drinks with him, and it's great. It doesn't really matter what another part of his life is. I'm not sure why that is. It's almost like men are capable of compartmentalizing relationships, perhaps, and the parts that they, you know, well, this is good for this aspect of my life, that part isn't my life, so I don't care. But the thing is, eventually this stuff comes around. So I always kind of attribute it to it, you know, if someone treats you really, really great, let's say you're going out on a date, you've been dating someone for a few weeks, a couple of months, or whatever. You go to the restaurant and they treat the staff like crap. I'll tell you, how they treat the staff is exactly how they'll treat anybody at any given time, given the right moment. So it's really, like, do you see where I'm going with this? Like, this whole thing is about consequences in relationships. So I feel like we can enter different types of relationships. These can be romantic, they can be platonic, they can be business agreements, types of boundaries or openings that we form for people in our communities. But what comes in with that is almost like, then I feel like, so you've learned a lot about relationships through trial and error, like, you know, letting someone into your life in a certain element of your life, and then realizing that they do not mix well with other elements in your life, and then you have to start compartmentalizing, and that becomes exhausting because parts of that personality or traits or expectations that really don't sit well with you outside of what originally did, is start seeping in. So there's a really interesting card about the consequences, like the first kiss. You know, it could be such a simple thing. When you're so much younger, the first kiss, you could have this amazing chemistry with someone, and you kiss for the first time, and you're like, fireworks are going off, and you're all like, just, you know, kind of holding hands, and But then you realize, you know, this person doesn't have any interest that you have interest in, or they think the things that you're interested in or feel really passionate about are kind of silly and frivolous, or vice versa. There's a lot of depth to the simple connections in life. So, what a way to get started, Gemini. Who are you now? Oh, okay. The Castle. This is self-contained. Oh my goodness. This Castle card is really interesting because the walls go up around the castle, right? But it's more profound to realize that the castle keeps things within it, keeps things in it, as opposed to keeping things out. Like am I saying that right? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm also struggling to talk a little bit because I was in the dentist chair for an hour and a half getting a cleaning and an adjustment. And of course, whenever I have an adjustment, I feel like I have to learn how to re-talk a little bit. In short, the lessons that you've learned through relationships have put walls up. That's where that is now. So whether these walls and boundaries are, right now it could be like very vast because the castle's coming up. It could be like in a lot of areas of your life where it's like, well, I have this group of friends. I'm good with them. I'm not moving past that. I don't need any new friends. Or I've dated a few idiots in my life. I'm good. I don't need to date anybody. You know, it's just, there's walls up based on the consequences through relationships. Well, I mean, you know what? You were hard as a sign on me in my appointment. So at least you're making it easy for this reading. It's quite clear. Okay, what is the lesson not fully learned? I don't know what card is going to come out. I just want to guess that there's something here about bringing these two energies together. I mean, obviously not closing yourself off completely to relationships of different types throughout the rest of your life. But I mean, if that's what you choose, that's what you choose. But what is this? The gem. Ah, God, this has been coming around and going around a lot. This gem card. So this is realizing that the most beautiful diamonds are often found in the dirtiest and hardest to reach places. Oh, interesting. So either, and I don't know, I'm a little more prone to feel that it's you here because you are right now the castle. So you formed a bridge, like walls around you, protecting what is inside. Now, what's interesting is if anyone wants to get in there, there's an effort required. That's what you're perfecting. That's the lesson that you're perfecting here, is recognizing the gem within yourself, protecting it and not making that so easily accessible. Now that is a balance. There is a balancing act with that. And two, I mean, if there's any sort of relationships that you've recently been, or you've disassociated yourself from recently that were quite difficult, or there was codependency issues, or there was, you know, anything that just didn't sit right with you, and you just realize, you know, the consequences that come, or all of the baggage that comes with this relationship are far outweigh the good parts of the relationship. If you're just coming off something like that, like these walls could be pretty strong, and someone would have to dig pretty hard to get in to this diamond, this jewel, this diamond in the rough. You haven't fully learned the lesson. I also want to say that you may have connected with people in the past quickly, and people that you connect with quickly, you may have seen that as, wow, I think this is going to be great. We're getting along great right away. But then long term, that doesn't seem to work out so well. So it's almost like for you, also the lesson that you're learning is the people that it takes longer to get to know, that is the more, perhaps the healthier in terms of what would be healthy for you in relationships, healthier type of dynamic to get to know or to learn about, as opposed to jumping right in and, wow, this just flows really great. And then once you invest, then that's where you've put something of yourself. You have expectations. People have expectations. Well, I go to the dentist now. I have hope and no expectations. See, babe? Hope, but no expectations. That's good. Have hope, but no expectations. That's a really interesting lesson that you are still perfecting. And it's totally in alignment with what's going on here. Okay, so what have you perfected here? The siren. Whoa. Oh, you're really, okay. I feel like you're great at pulling in all sorts of shit. The siren pulls stuff in, whether it's good, bad, the other. You have perfected the siren. You could probably, and okay, so Gemini too. One of the, Geminis are great talkers. Geminis, depending on the Gemini, I guess too, and the placements that they have. I'm trying to think of the Geminis that I know. One in particular is a very close friend of mine. She is a great talker. Oh my God. She could sell sand to someone who lived in the desert. I'm telling you, she could sell ice cubes to people in the tundra. She's just great. But you see, but that's what it is. Like there's something about, you tend to be, and yes, blunt, you can be, as my dentist. Come on, tell me, 2 more months, 2 more months. You know that's not what I want to hear. He's not telling me what I want to hear. Yeah, you could, where I was going with this was, where's the deck? I don't need to pull it out. It's my Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Actually, I don't need to pull it out. It's Gemini. It's the smooth talker. Well, I don't even know. It's the smooth talker. It's the smooth talker. Gemini can be very flirtatious naturally, but it's just because it's just like you're a communicator. So you communicate in a lot of different ways. Blah, blah, blah. There it goes. There goes that Gemini energy. But a lot of people, it's almost like you can adapt to what you sense people want to hear or what is interesting. Like you know how to fit yourself in intellectually and verbally into a lot of different places. So you can pull in a lot of different energy. Not all that energy is that good to continue to invest in. You've perfected pulling shit in. You've perhaps even perfected to going to things quickly. Whether you are acting as a siren or things are pulling you in as a siren energy. The best stuff is hard to find. That's the key here with the gem. Isn't it funny? Gemini, the gem. That's what you're perfecting, you. The storm is at the bottom. The storm. It's like a lightning strike that it like defines 2 spaces here. It almost looks like this is space. These little dots are all kind of mimicked here, but there's a lot more going on. Oh, there's a hand again, reaching out. I gotta sit and meditate on all the hands that come in this deck. There's gotta be something going on here that I don't feel like I'm quite connecting to, that maybe I need to sit within a quiet space and allow that to come in. Are the hands of time. Okay, thank you. It's the hands of time. They're the hands of time reaching up. That's all I'm getting. Okay. I should write that down. I feel like I should write that down because there's something about these hands that we need to understand. Okay. The hands of time reaching up, whatever that. Okay. But it's almost like all of this chaos and confusion, this storm, the lightning comes in, and it's much more peaceful on the other side of the lightning strike. I don't know, a lightning strike, maybe you've caused a lightning strike in your own life, and that just kind of, to me, symbolizes a bit of a tower moment, some sort of a dramatic fact or truth, clarified perhaps by action, removing yourself from a storm. Let's go to the Oracle. Okay, who you were then, definitely experiencing the different consequences in relationship. where now you have walls. Now you have boundaries. The tiger. So much information came in with that. Was it yesterday in Taurus or Aries? I think it was Aries. But now it's just quiet. How are you just so quiet? Then maybe, okay, that's telling me something. Then maybe this is leading to here, the castle. Become quiet in relationship pursuit. Okay, so I am seeing, so I feel like what I just described in this card as it first came out, I feel like that was leading us down the trail to eventually becoming more quiet. You know how I talked about, you know, Gemini does tend to be kind of like the talker in the group, very social, becoming more quiet. And then now it's like it's followed by the walls. Watching. More watching than doing. So now, wow, a wall and a half. The snake. Look at that. Protecting. It's almost, oh, wow, protecting something. Okay, I feel like now you're going through some sort of metamorphosis of transformation. And this protection feels pretty legit. Because you're perfecting, let's say, right? Like you're perfecting a lesson here of you. The gem, perfecting you, but you are being contained in a hard to reach place, like a castle. And this snake, it's constantly spinning. But I mean, when I see all of this, flower geometry, that's not it, sacred geometry in the middle, it does to me have something to do with sort of like the blueprint of your soul. So something's a metamorphosis. You're protecting the blueprint of your soul here. And perhaps even cleansing and purging it from past relationships. I'm going to write that down. Sorry, I'm getting older and I don't remember shit anymore. Well, I never really remember titles anyways. These readings are going to get more and more interesting the older I get. Get this second, kids. I gotta go have a pee break. Okay, so not fully learned yet. The gem. Boundaries. Look at that. Okay. It's so intriguing. Scorpion's been burned and has boundaries. I think the key here is not to end up in that situation, just not to get burned in the first place. She's so good at bringing in all sorts of crap, or you even getting lured into, like, wow. Clear as a bell. All right, so the next is the siren. You got that perfected, honey. Wow, the dragonfly. This is elevated vision, being able to see things in a much more elevated way. Seeing things beyond the way you saw them before, which is important apparently with what we have sitting here. Seeing beyond the illusion. Seeing beyond the illusion, and you're purifying your soul's blueprint. I think she's purifying. Maybe I'll remember things better once the thing comes out of my mouth. I'm kind of worried I'm going to have to kind of take a while to learn how to talk again. The gazelle is at the bottom. I should ask them about that. I have to go to speech therapy. Waiting. I mean, the Gazella's got the same energy. You're a watcher now. You're not so much a doer in finding new relationships, engaging in new relationships. It's kind of like you're off in the stands watching. You're not even there. You know what? You're at home on TV watching it on TV. Because with the Castle, you're not like, no. You're almost unreachable. I would say you're almost unreachable. But I don't think this is bad. I mean, if you continue to stay that way for like the rest of your life because you don't trust yourself ever again in terms of relationship and people, something won't be right. But this feels like you're doing it to purify your soul. The blueprint, like the blueprint of who and what you're meant to be. So cast out anything that was never really meant to be there in the first place that could have an effect on your journey and your choices. You know what I'm saying? See? All right. Then, the Mother of Pentacles. This could be like parenting. This could be somebody too. Oh, that's funny. I always wondered when that would come in. It has come in. I've waited a long time to use this one. And here it is finally. Okay, so this is really interesting. It's kind of funny. It's a little bit humorous. I think you might enjoy it. So there's this car down the street. And, well, it's not there anymore. Just wait. So there used to be a car down the street. And it was like a little black sports car with black tinted windows. And on the back, it had a little bumper sticker. And in red writing, it said, no one rides for free. No. So, gas, grass, or ass. No one rides for free. I used to laugh at that all the time. That's not even where my full laughter comes from. Because it was like such like a young guy's car, like it's a little black sports car with tinted windows and this red writing. Gas, grass, or ass. No one rides for free. So that was at the bottom right of the bumper sticker on the car, the bumper. But see, now this is like in a subdivision where everyone has kids. So, but in the window, the back window on the left was baby in car in white. And I thought, oh, he got ass payment instead of gas or grass. And there's the consequence. It was so funny. This car was like, just like this person's life to me. Like this free living life, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a consequence. So, and I used to think that, there's a consequence if they don't have gas money or grass money. There's a consequence for the ass money. And you got it, buddy. You got the little baby in the car. That car's gone now. It was like that for like when I moved here over a year ago, that car was there. And a few months ago, it's gone now with, get ready for it, a white minivan. But he's still trying to retain his, like playa and his fun ways, because instead of it just being like a little baby on board, it's a little baby on a surfboard that says baby on board, BOA. Where I'm going with this is like the concept, isn't that funny? I love it. I mean, look at this shit when I'm walking around the neighborhood, like, oh, that's funny. So here, in pursuit of perhaps, now this could be pursuit of motherhood, and there were certain things that you looked at in terms of what would create a really good dynamic, a relationship for parenting, or for you to become a mother or a father. There's something here about responsibility. Now, whether like an extra responsibility that comes in here, because you kind of have to, like, she's got a little dough, you got to look after that. Maybe that's even something that you think about now. You could be a single parent, actually, even with the way this is coming through. You could be a single parent, and this could even be the reason why you have something like this, like what I see here. Like there's a lot of boundaries, and there's a lot that anyone would need to negotiate. So there could be somebody, a dependent around you, and so you're highly protective of that. So this could be something that you think about, because you've learned that, you know what, you let anyone into your life, there's an awful lot that can come with it that you're not prepared for. This could even just be if you don't, if that's not your situation, I want to say to your own inner child. And that would definitely connect with the purifying the blueprint of your soul. So now the castle. Oh, look at that. You guys, okay, the Mother of Wands, look at, she's protecting all the eggs. You guys are you're either protecting like your child, children, dependents around you, or your inner child, or all of the above. You're protecting something very precious. Nothing's touching it. So now the lesson not fully learned here. We've already talked about it. What do we have with it? Wow, the Six of Wands. But your goal here is to find success. So I like to see that, because I don't think that you're going to be completely closed off indefinitely to relationships, to people. And we're talking about relationship because this is all about that with that card. So your intention here is to have success. But I don't feel like, but it looks like to me that you don't want to mess with anything until you have purified the blueprint of your soul, and you know that walking out of the castle, that you have the capacity to trust yourself. And I feel like this really, both these speak about like not jumping into anything particularly quickly, whether that's a friend, business partner, neighbor, anything. So you perfected. Look at that, the Sun. Not losing self, finding self again. Not being pulled into something that's just pretty on the outside or attractive on the outside, but there's some very uncomfortable consequences that can come with that. The Sun. Seeing the truth in all things around you and not just what sits on the surface. Whoa, the Three of Swords is at the bottom. Whoa. Look at that. You've got the Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups, what was it? The Moon, and the World. Because the World too talks about you've perfected a cycle here and you're closing it off. So you have definitely perfected broken heart, emotional detachment, walking into the darkest areas of life with the Moon. Follow your intuition when there's nothing else to guide you. You've perfected that. This is a pretty deep perfection. I feel like actually I don't even need to say anymore. I want to say thank you for actually being so clear after one of y'all torturing me. He pays people to come in and torture me, and he just tells everybody what to do. I'm going to go do your extended. In the extended, I'm going to look at energies that are transforming around you. That should be interesting to see. I think it'll be interesting to see because you're obviously going through some sort of transformation on your own here, but it is kind of like protected and hidden. So it would also be interesting to see if any of that peeks up in that question, or if it is things outside of you specifically and just that. And that would be interesting too, because I don't know how much you'll be connecting with things outside of you. So yeah, it would be interesting. And then we will look at future you. So that's what we're going to do in there, Gem. Thank you so much, my friends. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.